This silence was never emptiness, it was consecration. You thought you were forgotten, but heaven was hiding you. Not because you were weak, but because you were marked. Was it delay, or was it divine disguise? Was it isolation, or was it incubation for something sacred? They saw rejection. God saw refinement. They saw strange signs. God saw sealed scrolls ready to open. Stay until the end, because what you're about to hear may explain why you were never able to blend in, why you always felt different, even as a child, why your presence shifts rooms, why your pain felt heavier than others could bear. By the end of this message, what once felt like confusion will be revealed as confirmation. Welcome to Chosen One's Prophecy, where the hidden are revealed and the marked are gathered. This is not a sermon, this is a spiritual summons. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah 1:5. That wasn't just for the prophets of old, it was for you. You didn't come here by accident. The strange signs you've carried, the spiritual weight, the early awakenings, the eyes of children and animals drawn to you without reason, they were never random. They were proof. Stay, because the 7 signs that are about to unfold may not only explain your journey, they may reveal your assignment. The mark you didn't ask for. There is a reason you've always felt eyes on you, even when no one was in the room. There's a reason you walk into spaces and people shift. Some lean closer, others withdraw. You weren't just noticed, you were marked. Long before you understood what was happening, the spirit world already did. God placed a signature on your soul, invisible to man, but undeniable in the spirit. This is why strange people tell you their secrets, why broken ones sit beside you and feel peace, why darkness always tries to find you and fails. You are not just different, you are distinguished. Just like Joseph, you were clothed with a coat no one else could wear. And just like Joseph, that favor provoked envy. But the pit wasn't the end. It was the first altar. You were seen by heaven before you were even born. And because of that, earth has never known what to do with you. This is the danger of divine uniqueness. The world misunderstands what God has hidden. So ask yourself, was it shyness or spiritual concealment? Was it social awkwardness or supernatural distinction? You weren't ignored. You were set apart, and every mark comes with a mantle. Who tried to strip yours? The loneliness you couldn't escape. Chosen ones don't blend in, they get hidden, and the hiding feels like abandonment. But it is in this wilderness that prophets are formed. Before David wore the crown, he wore rejection. He was left in the fields while his brothers stood before kings, but the oil didn't flow for them. It waited for the one who was forgotten. This is the mystery of divine delay. You've known rooms where your voice was unheard. You've poured into others and received silence in return. You've given love that wasn't returned, prayers that were never thanked. But none of it was wasted. God was forging intimacy in isolation. You weren't being punished, you were being protected. Elijah had to sit by a dried brook before he could call down fire. Mary had to carry the word in silence before the world could hear it. You too were called to the cave before the commission. And even in the loneliness, heaven was never far. Can you still feel the echo of your own unanswered prayers? They didn't disappear, they descended. And now they rise back to you with fire. The fire that nearly broke you. Some of your worst moments weren't caused by enemies, they were assignments carried out by familiar hands. Judas always sits close. You didn't just survive betrayal, you were baptized in it. Loss didn't just visit you, it tried to bury you. And yet, here you are, still standing, still marked. This is the forge of the chosen, when everything you leaned on collapses, and all that remains is calling. Joseph needed the prison to prepare for Pharaoh. Job needed the ashes before he could double, and you You needed that storm to see what was real. The tears weren't weakness, they were offerings. The breakdown wasn't defeat, it was delivery. This is why the pain didn't kill you. It crowned you. Your scars are not shame. They are scrolls, and they've been waiting to speak. The attack that proves your anointing. Let's be clear. You were attacked early because hell saw you before you did. The enemy doesn't waste resources. He only targets what carries power. That anxiety, engineered, that childhood trauma, designed to break your voice before it ever found sound. That repeated rejection, a strategy to stop you from believing you were ever chosen. Demonic resistance intensifies before divine release. And if you felt an increase in warfare, it's because your assignment is awakening. You didn't attract chaos, you threatened it. Moses was hunted as a baby because he'd one day part seas. Jesus was pursued in infancy because he'd one day break the grave. And your battles have been prophetic confirmations in disguise. This is why you felt watched. This is why darkness tries to follow you, because your light convicts hell's grip on others. But the weapons did not win. They revealed what's within. If this resonates, comment 444. Now, as a prophetic sign, you are still listening and receiving. Let the remnant speak. The authority you didn't know. You had. You don't need a title to carry weight in the spirit. When you walk in the room, atmospheres shift. People feel conviction they can't explain. Healing starts where your shadow falls. This is kingdom authority. You weren't called to echo the world. You were sent to interrupt it. Luke 10:19. You have been given authority to trample serpents and scorpions, but you've been walking like you're still in chains. The enemy fears your realization, not your resistance. This is the hour to remember. You carry keys. You carry oil. You carry voice. You've been moving like a survivor. It's time to move like a sent one. What would happen if you finally believed it? The assignment you can't escape. There's a reason you can't shake this calling. Even when you run, it follows. Even when you fall, it speaks. Like Jonah, your disobedience causes storms. Not because God hates you, but because He chose you. This is not a burden, it's a blueprint. Your gifts are not hobbies, they are tools. Your story is not shame, it is strategy. You weren't born to repeat cycles, you were born to break them. And heaven will keep circling your life until you respond. Can you feel it again? That whisper pulling at your bones? It's not guilt, it's the sound of your scroll being unsealed. The others like you. You felt alone. But the truth is, the remnant is rising. Scattered across the nations are others who carry the same ache, the same eyes that see beyond the surface, the same sensitivity to darkness, to dreams, to divine timing. You're not broken. You're connected. Esther thought she was one woman in the palace, but Mordecai reminded her, you were sent for such a time as this. There are others waiting on your yes. There are lives hanging in the balance of your obedience. The remnant doesn't need to be many, just awake. Will you awaken? The echo that must continue your testimony is not the end. It is a trumpet. Your pain is not personal, it is prophetic. And what you survived was never just for you. It must echo across timelines, across generations, across territories your feet may never touch. This is legacy. This is heaven's ripple effect. It doesn't end with healing. It begins with release. Let the echo begin. You weren't too sensitive. You were spiritually attuned. You weren't too quiet. You were listening to frequencies this world couldn't hear. You weren't too strange. You were shaped for realms not made by hands. This is the final mystery. The very things they mocked were the markers of your mission. The signs you tried to silence were the sounds of heaven calling you back to yourself. You have passed through fire and didn't burn. You have walked through silence and didn't lose your voice. you have been broken, only to realize you are being built. You are not behind. You are becoming. You are not random. You are remembered. You are not like the rest, because you were never meant to be. You are a chosen one, refined, realigned, and released. You have been marked. You have been forged. And now you are being sent. If your spirit felt seen in this message, comment 7-7 below as a sacred sign that your scroll is awakening. If a moment spoke to you deeply, share it. Let the remnant echo. And if you know this is just the beginning, subscribe now and stay connected to Chosen One's Prophecy, where the hidden are revealed and the marked are gathered. You are not alone. You are the next echo.